Alright, a little summary of where I'm at with the project. I've done some work over the weekend. I'm focused at the moment on the AI and really trying to get a handle on making all their AI states work well. One of the main things I've been working on, sort of in a way before getting to that, is just showing a lot more gizmos and text labels and things about the AI and their state so I can debug them a lot easier and see really what they're doing and get control of what they're doing. So here's a guy that's patrolling. He doesn't have line of sight. I can see a little thing of how far they've got to get to their destination, which is the little purple, it's not a cube really, I suppose it's a little purple marker. And the purple line draws to the one that they're going to. It's also lists their stopping distance and whether is stopped is true or false or whatever, because that was helping me sort one of my bugs out, which was that they weren't moving around properly in certain cases. So this is me up here. Now, if I whip out my torch, this guy's spotted me. Got my thief voices in still as placeholders while I'm getting things working. So you can see he's shooting arrows at me. And as he's chasing me around, let's maybe follow the player around here. Got a lot of lines going on. I might try to minimize this a bit. They have a last scene location, which is right on my body. Now if I go into the dark and try to get out of sight a bit. So now they've got a last scene location. The last place this guy saw me was here. And he's in the combat chase state now. And he's heading to here. And let's have a look at the navigation nav mesh. So what he's trying to do, it's actually two guys, markers here. There's a last scene location, and then once he loses sight of me, he gets about 3 seconds worth of sort of intuition or like cheating, I guess you could say, for this last guest location. And I think that's where this guy's going to at the moment, but he's going there because that's the closest place on the nav mesh. So I've got various issues to do with them not really being able to handle, what do they do if they're trying to get from one bit of nav mesh to another bit of nav mesh and they can't, etc. So I still need to work on that, but this is all going to help me to do it by having this debug info. So, and just have a bit of a look around. Here's a bunch of people. These guys are actually also, they've seen me and they're trying to get over here because I was all lit up with my torch, I guess. So yeah, they've got their own last sighted and whatever locations. So they probably should cancel out of that like earlier on and say, oh, how far is it to get to that person? Oh, it's impossible to get to them, so I should just do something else, handle it in some other way. Let's go down here and see how this guy goes trying to get me. So let's unpause. Assuming he doesn't see me, he might actually get a line of sight on me. So he's trying to get down to here. This guy's gone into search. Now this search guy, they've both gone into search now. This search guy here, where are the search points they've made? They're not that good at making search points, but I've got it working in a basic way. So he's got search point 1 here. Is there another one over there? It's a bit hard to see. And there's also a guy with a search point 0 here. And see, you can't get there either. So these are some of the things where this info is going to help me a lot, where I'm like, oh, well, what is this guy doing? He's standing at the edge of this, like, nav mesh. What's he doing? And you're like, oh, I see. He's trying to get to this one, and he can't. So I need to write some code around that. Does he need a better search point to start with, or does he need to give up on this one. Like, you could let him make that one, but then he gives up. So I'm yet to get into all of that. Now these guys are also searching. See, they probably shouldn't be in the search state at all. I mean, maybe they shouldn't even be allowed to see me from that far away. There is a distance limit, but they don't seem to have exceeded it somehow. Okay, let's let them search. So okay, so this guy, he's trying to get to a search point. It's better to show this off in the towers in a way, because these conditions work better in towers. But yeah, they will give up searching, but it takes 80 seconds for them to give up. Let's go and have a look. Where is the tower? Something else of interest, so you can see some guards also in here. I'm also rendering their actual pathing. So you can easily use Gizmo draw line to show their paths, which is good. And you can sort of see, you can see quite a bit of detail as they, they're pathing upstairs and etc, etc, etc. And you can also head in here, and if I go to my sound propagation system, I can tick on draw the node network. I can turn it off. I can turn on just drawing the nodes. These are little nodes on the prefabs. So you can see them all there. They do get in the way a bit, which is why I made it so you can just easily toggle them on and off. They're the nodes. That's the network of sound propagation, so sound can go down here and through doorways and around a room. But nice to have that toggled off when you're just working on AI or whatnot. So these guys are patrolling around. There he goes. This guy's heading over here. So why don't we head on over. Yeah, where are we trying to get to? So I just want this AI to work reliably and for me to get a better grip on how to write behaviors consistently and get them doing stuff that makes sense and isn't random or glitchy or whatever. So I'm getting somewhere. Let's have a little run around the castle and just see a little sort of summation of where everything's at. There's still plenty of stuff to work out and iron out, but definitely tightening things up. Alright, here we go.
Don't move or you drop your weapon.
Alright, so these guys are working pretty good at spotting me. So I can hear guys coming from my left. So they're all spotting me pretty well. They're saying they're going to chase me pretty well. Now there's someone in here. I think that's probably them coming up the stairs.
He's around there somewhere. I can wait. I can wait. Don't think you can hide for long.
Now, if we go and have a little look here, where's the player? Here.
Don't make me come find you. Ah! I'll teach you a thing or two. You'll fall soon, this fear.
Now we'll just pause it and see what these guys are up to. So this guy's in a combat chase state. They're going to that last guest location, which is the sort of little hint that they get a few seconds after they last see you, just so they don't sort of have no idea which way you went. You know, you want them to sort of have a sense of like, well, I saw him go through there, and I'm pretty sure he would have like gone to the left, or he would have gone, you know, kept moving in that direction. Right, so now this guy started searching. So now this is something I don't like very much, what they're doing. So he's made a search point here, which I like. He should probably start to move slower and like sneak, you know, be searching around. But he has also made 2 search points up here, which I don't really like. So I've got to refine that. But I've got it kind of working. I improved it today where at least they'll make the search points somewhat far apart, so they're not clumped together and they don't like reach 2 of them at once. And they don't make them so they're right at their feet or something, so they sort of tick them off straight away and stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's getting somewhere. Now let's search. Let's follow this guy around.
Go ahead, run. I'll find you soon enough. Now you, come back.
This guy's on to me.
Where are you? Tell me. He's around there somewhere. He's around there somewhere.
Currently those guys have 360-degree vision if they're in like combat state, to stop you from sort of getting right up behind them, and it sort of seems like they're stupid. But
You'll fall soon.
they should have only 360-degree vision, I think, if you're pretty close behind them. Because you should, you know, if they're chasing you and you come around behind them, you should be able to see them. It's just silly if you sort of dodge around behind one, right, like they're standing on this rug and you go around behind them and they're like, ooh, can't see them. Maybe it's almost more like if they've got line of sight and you go behind them, like as soon as they lose sight of you, their field of view could go smaller again. Maybe that would be cool. So that, you know, effectively, if you're in the same room as them, they can always see you. They're not going to lose track of you, even if you're quiet or dark or whatever. But if you leave the room and break line of sight and then kind of come around and they're there running through that doorway, they shouldn't just be able to see you. Unless they're facing you. Those yellow balls are the last sighted location.
I've got you now.
That's the last guest location. See, he saw me then because of his vision. Which is a shame because it takes some of the fun out of like you duck around and then you're watching them go to find you, but if they always see you, even if you're in the dark, not as fun. Alright. Getting somewhere, getting somewhere. that's all for now.